How do you do, Piper community? Respectable Piper here. Today we're going to be going over our first tobacco in this series, and it's going to be Cornell and Deal's Pegasus. It's blended by Rob Ranowski, manufactured by Cornell and Deal. It is a burley-based blend. It contains black Cavendish, burley, and Virginia. There's no flavoring. It's ribbon cut. And the strength is medium. Flavoring, none detected. Taste, medium. And room note is pleasant to tolerable. The review that I'm going to read for perspective purposes is by the blender himself. Says, in the blending, I sought to find a mixture that really reflected rather common American tobaccos, which could be enjoyed as a smoke throughout the day. Years ago, I enjoyed smoking Bond Street, and my hope was to approach the flavor of Bond Street with its pleasant room aroma. The base of the blend are 3 burleys, cube cut, white, and dark. They are the majority of the tobaccos. The 2 Virginias and the unsweetened black Cavendish provide the flavor. I've grown very fond of ribbon cut Virginia with its matured sweetness and clean burn. Black Cavendish has drawn criticism because of the travesty which some blenders have inflicted upon it with the bag of smokes available in some venues. But C&D Black Cavendish is uncased and very smooth without excess sugars. Smoking Pegasus is best in larger, bold pipes to allow the tobaccos to meld. He goes on to say that he chooses a Dublin type that he received from Bill Unger at the NASPC. In the first lightings, the initial bitterness of the burleys are expressed, but their fullness is tasted, followed fairly quickly by tasting both Virginias and the Black Cavendish. The smoke never seems to fall into any harshness and levels out into clean and pleasant experience. I believe that the new and more experienced smoker will find Pegasus acceptable. Sorry, as soon as I finished with the review, my air conditioner turned on, so I just went ahead and turned it off real quick. So, let's see if we see some of the bitterness in the initial lights. I'm sure it's going to light up nicely, and see how this goes. Oh, I'm smoking Savinelli second. It's turning nicely. It's getting pretty dark. I'll show it after up close in a little bit. The first taste I'm getting is the richest burley flavor I've ever experienced. It really is like a trifecta of just... and the sweetness already. It's definitely more on the. It's not a dark, heavy smoke. It's more lighter, brighter flavors. Because I'm so used to smoking so many cigarettes, that flavor is familiar. When I first lit it, the burleys came through, and I recognized that tobacco. That's something familiar to me. The Black Cavendish really helps bring out the sweetness in the Virginias. It doesn't leave any real aftertaste on the tongue either. It's got a bit of the grassy kind of hay thing happening. But yeah, not too much darkness going on. There's no latakia or anything like that. It's definitely, well, the burley is definitely the top burley forward. Very nutty. It's got that nutty flavor. Really comes through. But it's not overwhelming. Burn characteristics, I like the way burleys burn. Very nice. And I'm surprised, since the Virginias are in there, it's not, it's a bit early to tell, but it's not burning terribly hot. Too hot, I would say. No tongue bite. It's a great mixture. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of the Black Cavendish, just not as a leader in the pack. I like it to be behind the scenes doing as a I guess as they refer to as a condiment, something in the on the side there where it just contributes to the overall experience, but it's not in any way directly picked up by the smoker. When you want to taste for the sweetness, you can. Otherwise, you can just mindlessly smoke this and without any tongue bite, good flavor. If 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 nicotine is anything you're interested in experiencing, then this is definitely a good blend for that. If you're transitioning from smoking cigarettes or cigars or something like that. Something about Burley's to me, you know what I compare it to? It's like home cooking. You know, it's something that is very familiar, and in this way, using quality Burleys, it's a nice experience. It's definitely different. But because I use a one of those softy bits on here, my ability to manipulate the smoke as regularly as I would, say, if I was using one of my cobs to circumvent like my tongue, it usually with this it hits the same spot more often than it would if I was using the cob. So that in and of itself, and the fact that I have zero tongue bite, and it's a very smooth smoke, very smooth. Stays lit nicely, very evenly burns. Very evenly burns. The heat. The heat of it. I'm smoking it pretty fervently at the moment, and from what I can tell, uh, the Burleys are kind of keeping the Virginias from taking over the as far as heat goes. There's something else. It might have been a little bit of a citrus acidity thing. It's a very nice blend, very well balanced, very simple. And so as far as rating it goes, I definitely really like it. I really like it. I got to come up with a rating system. I know. I'll rate it from 0 to 5 cans. Or tins, I'm sorry. 0 to 5 tins. The heat is starting to get more pronounced now. But it's manageable. And that's a big thing for me. I don't like hot pipes, you know? I don't know if you could tell, but that's a factor. I'm factoring in the uh, heat rating in this. Flavor's exquisite. I'm gonna give it. It's hard because I don't have a big frame of reference, and there are so many different kinds of tobaccos. I mean, how do you rate this compared to plum pudding? It's not easy. So if I rate it compared to its brother Billy Bud, which is my current favorite, it's right there. It's falling right behind. In fact, Yeah, it's falling right behind. It's just the complexity of like the cigar leaf and the perique of the Cornell and Deal make it a little bit more of a sophisticated flavor, which I actually uh, it's hard to say whether I like that more or not, but I do like it a lot. So I'm gonna put this at a 4 out of 5 tens. I like Cornell and Deal. So the next time I do a review, I think it would be a good idea if you have the blend to go ahead, pull it out, and smoke it with me. And we'll do that. We'll compare notes. Leave it in the comments down below. It's definitely a quality smoke. Do I see myself buying a tin of this? I do. I do see myself buying a tin of this. I'm gonna have to keep some kind of a document with the ratings and stuff. And again, everything you hear is completely subjective, my opinion, for what it's worth, and I'm still pretty newbie, just having fun, really. Another note: as this approaches the mid bottom of the bowl, the flavor takes a turn. The way he was talking about the flavors really melding and coming together. At first, you could pick them apart, but now they're coalescing, which adds a new dynamic, a new level of complexity that I really appreciate. I like it when tobaccos change, uh, and it actually mellows it out. Now that the burley is infused more with the Virginias and more with the Burleys and stuff, the flavor that you get is just a deliberate, pleasant experience. If you wanted to go and have a smoke with some other guys, uh, this would be a good tobacco to bring to. I feel like it fosters good conversation and stuff like that. It's not too distracting, but on the other hand, it develops nice complexity as you continue to smoke it, which, uh, that stimulates a lot of thought, uh, promotes thoughts, new thoughts. Also, I'm increasingly more and more infatuated with my cobs. I love corn cobs. They're uh, they're very simple, and I was kind of uh, I was initially not too pleased with the stems that come with them, but then I went ahead and ordered the fancier Danish bits for them, and I like the amber ones. I don't like how susceptible they are to the teeth marks, but I'm not discouraged by it. I wanted to get some of the lucite options from, that Forever Stems uh, offers. However, I feel as if they're a little bit too bulky. The bit is too bulky. Too much plastic is what I'm thinking. Because the way that they come, the way you used to be with them is they're thinner. They're thin. And I like that. If there was an option, I know that there's a buddy of mine out there, name of Cane Rod Piper. He actually has an online store. If you check him out, he produces a lot of restorations, and I'll put his link down below because he's been really helpful in figuring out uh, what my options are as far as stems for these particular kinds of pipes goes. And I'm pretty sure he does pretty much a jack of all trades, so he does everything. That's going to be it for me. I'm just about done here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll be talking at you soon. Take it easy.